But look at the difference between last year and this year. Extraordinary drought across the West, the worst we have ever seen.
Now, 7 News on your side amid increasing reports of birds, hundreds of them, found blind, dead, or dying right here in the DMV. And we want to warn you that some of these images are difficult to see.
Yeah, this is a rough one. So what do you do, though, if you find one of these birds near your home? Here's 7 News' Heather Graff now with advice from wildlife experts and the search for answers about why this is happening.
According to a report in the Washington Post, an unusual number of blind birds have been found dead or dying around Washington, D.C. lately, and wildlife experts say they have no idea why.
The calls keep coming here at the Animal Welfare League of Arlington.
Animal Welfare League of Arlington, how can I help you?
Calls from concerned homeowners and neighbors about birds that appear to be blind, their eyes so swollen and crusty with discharge, they're unable to fly.
It's really ramped up in the last couple of weeks.
So far, the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources says it's gotten more than 300 reports of dead or dying birds in the Commonwealth. But it's happening in Maryland and the district as well. A 7 News viewer took this video in Rockville, and experts say they're seeing it most often in grackles or blue jays, like you see here.
It's mostly concerning because we don't know what it is.
As one expert at the Wildlife Resources Department put it, the volume of reports and clinical signs are not suggestive of something they've seen routinely in the area, so they might be dealing with an emerging or novel issue.
Megan Kirschgessner is Virginia's state wildlife veterinarian and says a long list of agencies throughout the region are working to solve this mystery and to educate the public in the meantime.
If there are dead birds in the yard and they need to be picked up, please wear gloves.
And experts say these sick birds are also showing neurological signs. So just a bizarre situation. And as you heard, so far, no explanation on the cause of all of this. Experts are asking people to report to their local wildlife agency anytime you see one of these sick or dying birds.
Hey guys, yeah, so perhaps you've heard about birds dying or seeming to struggle either in your neighborhood group chat or unfortunately maybe you came across a dead bird yourself. And so now the question is are the cicadas the cause?
It's not impossible that it's not cicada related, but it's not overly likely.
He says the birds appear to have neurological issues or vision problems. One Northside resident tells me they found 4 dead birds in their backyard within 2 weeks.
Really, the only way that it could be like a cicada-related issue is if it were pesticides or some sort of weird bacterial infection. But interestingly, lots of things animals are eating cicadas right now.
Animals like squirrels and your pets are getting in on the feeding frenzy, yet there are no reports of them being affected like the birds, a key point when tracking down the source of this problem.
Something has changed in their environment that's affecting them, whether it's a man-made cause, whether it's just a breakout.
He says younger blue jays and grackles are the primary birds affected.
It is hard to speculate long-term, effects of this because we don't know how many individual animals will be affected, how many won't.
Large parts of the northern hemisphere have seen a partial solar eclipse today. The moon traveled directly in front of the sun in what's called an annular eclipse.
A rare solar eclipse that astronomers call a ring of fire took a bite out of the sun for more than an hour.
Because the moon's so far away from Earth, it didn't block out the whole sun, creating a ring of fire.
It's been a long time since we've seen this.
Oh, yeah, Anthony, the Northeast, you've got to go back to 1959. That's before I was born. The next one, not until 2079. So this was my opportunity, my once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see it. It did not disappoint.
An eclipse at sunrise in the United States. One of nature's most dazzling sights, the moon gliding in front of the sun, taking a bite from the shining disk. And this was the view from Canada, where the northernmost parts of the world were treated to a full spectacle.
As it was rising, I mean, it was something to see, and you had all kinds of iconic pictures around the Northeast. The sun rose over that iconic New York City skyline. Great shots from the Jersey Shore as well.
But today's event has delighted many around the world with a display of a true celestial wonder.
You're like my best friend.
Crippling drought across multiple states, the alarming images tonight of Lake Mead at the Hoover Dam. It's part of the Colorado River system, the water supply for 40 million Americans.
Well, by tomorrow, Lake Mead is expected to drop to its lowest level in history. Some 40 million people, including all of us right here in Clark County, rely on the reservoir for water. And as ABC's Matt Gutman explains, you may start noticing the effects of the water shortage very soon.
Tonight, the images of this mega drought are writ across the Southwest's landscape. Bathtub rings around reservoirs